morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night, depending upon where you are. This is Matthew from Love Buddy. This is a live video, a live Facebook video. It's 10 a.m. here in the Philippines, Wednesday, 5th of June, 2019. And in New York, it's 10 p.m. on the 4th of June, 2019, on a Tuesday night. This is Wednesday morning here. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far, or I hope you had a wonderful day. What we're talking about today is something about the inconceivable magic of love. It's inconceivable because love is beyond our consciousness. This is why people, when they try to, the people that believe in God as an entity, and you ask them specific questions about God, they can't answer, because God, they know that the God that they worship or that they want to worship is beyond. It's beyond the confines of our own ability to imagine things, beyond our own world, beyond our own small, petty lives, I guess sometimes we can say. So love is the same thing. Love isn't about a new car. It's not about a new job. It's even not about a new relationship. Love transcends all that. Love is beyond all of that. Love is really, really what I believe is the grand unified theory. I think love is the grand way that everything is becoming organized. Love brings order to chaos. So when you love something, when you take care of it, there's a maintenance there. There's a nurturing there. There's a consideration there. So when we're in touch with love, we're tapping into this infinite resource that is the key to every solution, to every problem imaginable, and those problems that we haven't even imagined yet, those problems that we've never thought of, those problems that haven't even arrived yet. But we know when we tap into love, as I am trying to do, as I am learning to do, as I am getting better at, because I'm focusing on love every day, as many times per day as I can, trying to see what would be a loving thing for me to do in this situation. What would love do in this situation? How would love behave? What is love about? How does love apply in this situation in my life, in this decision point, in what I'm deciding to do? Because all day we're thinking, we're making decisions, and we're deciding how to behave. We're deciding what to think. We're deciding what to put our attention on, what to put our focus on. If love is our foundation, if love is our key reference point, if love is our center, and everything grows out of that, then we live in perfect harmony with the universe, with everything that's happening, with our lives. And we feel that harmony. We feel that as a kind of a calmness. We feel that as a kind of confidence, joy, a kind of happiness. If we don't have love as our center, which can happen to all of us, it happens to me, even though I talk about it a lot. I forget, I make mistakes, and I don't do loving things all the time. I mean, it just happens every day that I don't do loving things, that I make these mistakes. However, when I do think about love, when I do focus on love, when I do make love-centered decisions, it's like if you've ever gone water skiing, you know, at first you're kind of pulling to stand up on the water, and it's really tough. But when you pop up on the water, you just, wow, just cruising along, and it just feels great, because you're in harmony with the universe, you're in harmony with your life, you're in harmony with the world. So this thing about love, this thing about having a love-centered life, I think is an extremely significant thing. And I'm just copying some notes right now so that I can read my notes about this. And why, now we know, okay, this is why love is inconceivable, right? The inconceivable magic. Why is it inconceivable? As I just mentioned, it's kind of beyond us, right? This is kind of beyond us. It transcends our three-dimensional universe. It goes beyond that. So love in this way, it's life-changing. When you are love-centered, when love is your focus, when love is your foundation in life, it changes everything. I can tell you from experience, it changes everything, because Instead of being drawn by this or drawn by that, a lot of times we're dragged into things, right? We're dragged into problems. Oh, we got to move because we're being evicted, or we've got to move because they're going to plow our house down and put in a settlement, or we've got to do this. I've got to get a new job because I'm losing the other job, or we have a financial crisis because of hospital bills. Fell in love with somebody, we don't know if they love us. We've got a mate, we're having problems with the children. We're having problems with our mate. We're having problems with our relationships. We can't believe this guy did that. There are a million things that come up that kind of pull us off track. And it's hard for us to make decisions. And if we don't have a foundation, if our friendships are the foundation in our life, which they're a key part, they're an important part, they're a vital part. Money, income, a job, this is vital too. Health, vital parts, but if they're not, they can't be our foundation because these things come and go. Sometimes our health is great, sometimes we're in the hospital, sometimes we've got to change our way of living because we're having health problems. Sometimes there's nothing we can do. So these challenges come up. They're out of our scope of control. They're things that we can't control. But what we can always count on is our relationship with love, our foundation in life, our life center. Love is always there. It's calming in that way because we know that love is always there for us. Love will never abandon us. We can always fall back on love. But you can't always fall back on your friends. The better the friend, the more you can, but you can't always. Can't always fall back on your job. Can't always fall back on your savings. Can't always fall back on your home. Can't always fall back on your family. These things are always changing, and this is part of the game of life. You're guaranteed one thing in the game of life that's going to be stable, that you can always count on, and that is love. Love is always there for you. And as long as you tap into love, as long as you focus on love, as long as you decide love is your foundation, is your center, you're going to be fine, because everything else, who the heck knows is what's going to happen. You don't know from day to day. At any time, anything can happen. And that's okay as long as you have love as your foundation. If you pick something else as a foundation, it could totally rock our world, and in a bad way. So love itself doesn't have any dogma or weird ideas. Some of the different religions that I've been in have had these kind of weird ideas about what you're supposed to do, celebrating certain holidays, or certain holidays you aren't allowed to celebrate. Different practices about growing a beard or not growing a beard, or cutting your hair, wearing a hat or not wearing a hat. Going to church and going through this ritual that, when I went to church and I would sit there, after a while I thought, wait a second, what are we doing here? And that was kind of a weird ritual. That was kind of a weird dogma. That was kind of a weird idea. It just didn't work for me. It just didn't make sense. You know what makes sense? Being loving, being compassionate. If you're compassionate and understanding, these are two of the 68 qualities of love that we've discovered so far. And I'm sure there are many, many more. Compassion and understanding. Does that ever feel wrong? If we're not being compassionate to ourselves, maybe. But when you learn what real compassion is, you're able to be compassionate toward yourself and toward others at the same time. And it's an honoring thing. Love is also honoring. So we're not lost. We don't know how to behave. We don't not know how to behave in any given situation. We don't get lost in any given situation as long as we're aware of love. As long as we're not all agitated and upset, and we're reacting in a kind of a fight or flight manner where we're just really panicked. But as long as we're in touch with love, we're going to be calm. We're going to make rational decisions for our lives. And we're going to be able to let go of things that are harmful. And we're going to be able to pursue the things that bring us joy and happiness and benefit our lives and benefit those around us. So one of the beautiful things about love that's been life-changing, that's been magic for me, is I could just let go of all that crazy stuff that I thought when I was a kid. And if you've never left your religion or looked outside whatever religion you were raised in, you think, oh, this is normal, we have to do this. Even though, if you really sit down and you really have the courage, you really have the insight, and you really are in touch with love enough to say, wait a second, why do I have to do that? That's not always a great thing. That doesn't always work. That doesn't always make sense. That's not necessarily compassionate, understanding, respectful, kind. These are the qualities of love. This is where love is at. This is where love comes from. So when we see these things in life, we see someone being compassionate, that's being loving. Love opens the door to yourself, your self-actualization, your personal growth. You're becoming the most perfect model of you that there is. It opens the door to that because love teaches us how to be calm. Love teaches us how to be in touch with our heart. Love teaches us how to be in touch with our happiness and our joy. When we're love-centered, when we're love-focused, when we're love-foundationed, we automatically grow. We automatically blossom as an individual. We automatically actualize. We automatically become the most fantastic, most beautiful expression of who we are. And that grows and changes through time as appropriate. Today, I really want to put my time into my music. I want to write a song, or I want to sing a song. Maybe a few months from now, I'll focus more on building my business. I'll focus more on working with the children in the neighborhood, community projects, whatever that could be. It's going to be the purest, truest, most powerful expression of myself that could be, because I'm in touch with love. I'm in touch with my heart. I'm in touch with happiness and calmness. I'm in touch with who I really am and who I really want to be, who I really can be. Looking at a comment here. Karen, that works as a ripple effect. Living out of love seems to affect all around us. Same as living in anger, it ripples. Absolutely, Karen. I mean, that's a really great point that you made. Love ripples, right? Love has this kind of like when you throw a pebble in the water, right? And these ripples grow. And I would take it even a step further. I would say that it's kind of like, you know, where they talk about, Einstein talks about spooky, what is it called? Spooky reaction at a distance. And he's talking about this physics thing where you can have some effect on an atom here. And then it could have like another atom here, and it reacts at the same exact time. In other words, what am I getting at? It's not about space. Space goes away completely. Space isn't a factor. So when you really are in touch with love, and you really feel like you're in harmony, and you get these kind of chills, you know, when you conceive of love, like I'm getting right now, you know, when you conceive of love, it kind of puts you in this special state, and it makes you transcend space and time, so that you automatically affect the world around you, and the world around you affects you because you're kind of in this harmony, right? In this vibration. And the more we love, the more we create love in our world, the more we experience the world as a world of love. Another thing Einstein says, you got to decide, is the universe kind? That's a foundational, loving belief. I trust the world. I love the world. The world by its very nature is kind. It's safe. It's okay. If we don't have that, then we're not in touch with love, because when you're in touch with love, that's what it's all about, baby. That's what it's all about, because when you feel that, everything's going to be okay, no matter what happens, because it's all about the love. Then, yeah, you get this ripple effect. And the things around you are opportunities to love. Even if you see some violent fist fight, these guys are just going at it in a restaurant or something like that. You don't say, I hate this world, look at the hate in this world, look at how terrible the world is. If you have compassion and understanding, you say, wow, those guys are really going through something, both of them. There's something really going on here. You understand it. You're able to relax when you see it to as much a degree as possible as upsetting as it could be, but you also might be able to create some positive vibes around with the people around you who are watching or who are backing off and giving them space, or someone who's maybe trying to hope to calm them down. Love is dynamic. Love is different moment to moment, because love is about our application of love. Now, love itself has no time, no space, no dimension, nothing. Love is infinite, right? So love doesn't change, and love is this foundation of everything. But our experience of love, our expression of love, our understanding of love changes moment to moment. It changes all the time. So love itself has no limitations. We could say that the love that we express, the love that we are able to understand and feel and act upon, does have conditions. True love itself is unconditional. So somebody asks you for unconditional love, and they say that you're being conditional with your love. We all are, because we're human beings living in this three-dimensional universe plus time. And we're gonna not be in touch with love sometimes. But to the degree that we can be in touch with love, wow, magic happens. It's absolutely inconceivable, the magic that occurs. Okay, it totally handles relationships of all kinds. So guys fighting in the bar or the restaurant, your love relationship with your kids, relationship with your neighbors, your relationship with your boss, your coworkers, relationship with anybody that you can conceive having a relationship with, your relatives, your grandparents, your parents, your aunts and uncles, your siblings, your nephews, your nieces, all of these relationships, your next door neighbor. All of these relationships absolutely become so much more easy to manage and to understand and to work with and to be compassionate with and to forgive yourself with when you make a mistake. Hey, your stupid dog went on my lawn again. You get angry, you blow up at the guy, and then you realize, wow, that wasn't necessary. I was out of the love zone, and I kind of panicked and I was upset, and I can go over and I can say, look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, I don't like it when your dog does that, okay? But I was not polite to you. I was rude to you. I lost it, and I want to apologize to you sincerely, because that's not the way I want to be. That's not how I want to apologize. If you're dealing with a reasonable person, and 99.9% of us are reasonable people, believe it or not, when we're given sincere love, when the intention, another quality of love, when the intention in our heart is to be accountable, to be responsible, to be loving, and to be kind to others, people can feel that most always. Maybe not initially sometimes. Maybe they're pissed off. Maybe they don't trust you. Maybe you haven't built up a relationship with them enough yet. You haven't built up enough of a rapport. But once you do, once you have that, wow, the love opens, the love gates, just the whole thing opens up, this kind of rapport, this kind of relationship, and you can build the most solid, the most rich, the most wonderful, trusting relationships that you could ever imagine in your life. And this is a very, very rewarding part of life, having these rich relationships. Love, we need love more than we need hate, fear, or guilt. Yes. Thank you, Lorenzo. Should I pronounce your name Lorenzo? Is that right? Absolutely. We need love more than we need hate or fear or guilt. And they're all a kind of love, but it's just a little love, right? You could say that cold and heat are the same, because cold just has a little bit of heat. It's the same kind of thing. Absolute zero, I don't think that's been achieved or is achievable in the universe. Maybe it is in the physics labs, but anyway, it's kind of like light and dark, right? Dark is the absence of light. It's not the presence of darkness. Hate is less love, and abandonment is even less love. But it's all love, it's all heat, it's all light, it's just to different degrees, right? And we need to have that more love than the hate or the fear or the guilt or those bad feelings. And when we know what love is, which nobody ever taught me very much. People set the example, don't get me wrong, and I don't want to discredit, or I don't want to not give credit to or not love back the people who have really shown me love by their actions. But it took me a long time to realize, wow, the great thing that guy did that felt so good, that I thought was so cool, that was so much better than the way I was behaving. That was love. Now I know why. Now I know how to define that. Now I know how to be that myself. Completely gives you a sense of value and a mission. Love gives you a sense of who you are in the world, because automatically you know that pursuing love, having good intentions, having compassion, nurturing others, empowering others, and yourself, standing for these kinds of qualities of love, wanting to express these and be in tune with these, automatically you get a mission out of that. Automatically, you can see in any situation or in your quiet moments, this inspires me. Love is inspired. It turns me on. Wow, I just love working with horses. I love riding horses. I love training horses. I love taking care of horses. Horses love me. We have this rapport. This is what I want to do with my life. I want to run a ranch or something like that. It's exciting. That's love. Love is exciting. Love isn't about panic. Love isn't about a manic desire to get revenge, and you can feel the difference, extreme differences there between a manic compulsion and an inspired pursuit. Inspired pursuit is love. Manic compulsion is out of fear. Fear can be considered at the opposite end of the scale from love. So you get a sense of value, you get a mission. You know, yeah, this is what I'm doing in my life. It gives you an ultimate sense of accomplishment and a clear conscience. When I think about a situation that was challenging during my day, and I tried to be as love-centered as I could, even if I made mistakes, I know I did my best. I have a clear conscience. Tomorrow I could do better. Maybe I made a mistake, but I don't feel guilty. I don't feel wrong. I don't feel bad. I don't feel like I'm out of touch. I don't feel like I'm really blowing it. In general, when you have love as your foundation, you don't feel like, wow, am I living wrong? Am I totally doing the wrong thing with my life or in this situation? Because love is that stable when you understand love. And like I say, love is dynamic. But if we understand these qualities, we always kind of know what to hone in on, what to find, what to home in on. Is that the word? Forgot if it's home. Maybe both are possible. Anyway, we have a clear conscience and we have a sense of accomplishment, because we can say, last night I was totally exhausted, fighting a little bit of a cold, had a little bit of a cold. I don't know if it's a small allergy or what. Much better today than yesterday. It lasted about 48 hours. But last night, I was pretty darn tired. And I had a lot of things I had to do before I went to sleep. Had a lot of things to do during the day. Had a busy day. But I had a clear conscience. I had a sense of accomplishment. I felt like I got something done. I felt good about my day. I felt good about my time. And when you use love as a reference, you don't feel like you're wasting your time, like you're doing the wrong thing, like you're pursuing the wrong thing. You always feel like you're doing the best you can. And maybe you're throwing your time and your energy and your resources into something that's going to totally fail. That's all right, because not everything is meant to succeed. Yet everything, when we're coming from a sense of love, everything is a learning process. I'm going to make a note of that because I really like that idea. Everything is a learning process. So it isn't about the destination. It isn't about success. It's about the journey. And the journey can be a success if we learn something. And when we're in touch with love, when we're living a love-centered life, we're automatically going to be feeling successful because that journey is right. Okay, Lorenzo is right. Love is never a factor in dogma, right? Dogma is about rules and controls and conditions. Punishment, the whole penal system, the prison system, which we're going to talk about one day soon coming up here, the prison system and how does that work. It's all about punishment. That's not about love. Love is not about punishment. Love is not about what people call tough love. Love is compassionate, and tough love is not compassionate. Tough love, by definition, makes the person feel out in the cold, rejected, excommunicated, disfellowshipped, shunned. I think it's there's one group, I can't remember which group it is. I think they're the group in Pennsylvania. That's what they do. If you're doing something wrong, if you're not following there, and it's a wonderful in a really lot of wonderful ways. But they shun, and I think that shun is not loving. But you can sit down and have a serious talk with somebody and say, wow, I saw you today and it reminded me of this so frustrating thing that happened. And I'm really frustrated about it. I just want you to know that I just feel uncomfortable now about you, about our relationship, because of how you behave, because of the thing that you did or the thing you didn't do, or the thing that you said. But I love you, and I want to love you, and I do respect you, and I do want to nurture you, and I do want to be there for you. But I feel kind of weird about this thing, and I just want to share that with you so there's not this weird energy around. Okay, here's a way to not shun somebody, but let them know that you feel uncomfortable. Because love is about accountability. I'm accountable. I'm sorry I blew up at you yesterday about your dog. I want to take responsibility for that. I want to apologize to you for that. Because that was not the way I want to behave. That's not my goal. I want to be able to be kind and respectful to you, even if something happens that frustrates me. I want to be able to communicate in a calm and respectful manner, and hope that I can be the kind of person that helps us to cooperate together when there's some kind of a conflict where we might have different ideas about how something occurs. Okay, happiness and joy, finally. Happiness and joy. Did you know that our natural state as a human being is to be happy, to be joyful, to be excited, to be enthusiastic about life, to wake up in the morning and feel like, wow, I'm so lucky, I'm so grateful, because happiness and joy is part of gratitude. Gratitude is part of love. We're grateful because we have another wonderful day. Life is great because of that. Happiness and joy automatically comes. Why doesn't it always come sometimes for us in our lives? Because we're not in touch with love. Because we're not living in harmony. We're not up on the water skis, skiing along, enjoying the skiing of life, enjoying the waves, the ups and downs. That automatically happens when we're in touch with love, because of all the things that I mentioned earlier. Because we don't have these weird ideas, because we have this calmness, because we're in touch, because our relationships are calm, we don't have these huge conflicts, because we're not fighting the frequency of life. We're in sync with the frequency. So anyway, it's our default state to be happy and joyful. It's automatically normal to be happy and joyful. And yeah, something happens, drop something on your foot, ouch, and you're not, probably you're not going to be joyful about that. I don't know. If you're totally way better than I am, way more in touch with love than I am, then maybe you can laugh about that pretty quickly. But things happen in life. Life is full of challenges. Life is about barriers, challenges, tests to see, are we loving? Anything that comes up is a lesson. It's a learning about how to love more. That's what every single thing in life is about that comes up that's not perfect. We don't want a perfect life, because then the learning stops, the sense of accomplishment stops. And the joy of being on a mission, sense of accomplishment comes from solving problems. If we don't have any problems, then what the heck good is life? What are we here for? Just to be happy all the time and have nothing challenge us? No. Part of life is challenging. This is why people love sports so much. Jump over those hurdles, lift that weight, get the ball in the thing. That's what is so much fun. If you're just supposed to sit there with the ball, or the ball always goes in the thing, not a lot of joy in that, is there? So let's embrace. Love embraces. Love accepts these challenges, these hurdles, these what we call problems, because they're the very grist for the mill of life. They're the very opportunity for us to have joy and happiness and feel love and feel wonderful. Wow, I got that done. I fixed that problem. I did this part of that thing today. I resolved that conflict in that relationship. I was able to help that person. I was able to feel that connection. I was able to put that thing on the wall that kept falling off. I was able to get in better shape, to lose that weight. I was able to earn that money. I was able to give that gift. All of these things, none of those exist without a barrier of some kind, a problem of some kind, a challenge of some kind. Everything in life is a learning process. Ultimate, let's see, yes, I agree, happiness is our ultimate goal. Yeah, I think happiness is, if you don't believe in happiness, I remember I read this book called Your Erroneous Souls by Wayne Dyer when I was 18 years old and I was a Jehovah's Witness. That was the beginning of my quitting being a Jehovah's Witness, of my realizing that there was something about that philosophy that didn't work for me at all, that didn't make any sense to me at all. That everybody that I mentioned this to seemed to not really get it, and they were more in the habit of anything that challenges your faith, God's going to kill you, so you better not question anything. I was the kind of person that was kind of reckless, and I thought, okay, God's going to kill me, go ahead. But I have to have integrity in my life, and I'm not going to pretend something that doesn't make sense. And when it came to happiness, Wayne Dyer in this book, Your Erroneous Souls, one of the things that he points out blew my mind completely, and that is that we don't ever do anything for anybody else. We always do it for ourselves. We always do it for our own joy. We always do it for our own happiness. And luckily, when we do that, to be in touch with love is automatically beneficial to the universe. We are hardwired in our soul to automatically be beneficial to ourselves and to the universe when we're in touch with love. And being in touch with love is the only thing we can do, because that's all there is, everywhere, all the time. And you can ignore it, you can fight it, or you can go with the flow. You can go with the harmony. You can go with the frequency of love. So this thing about happiness being our goal, absolutely. Because when we're in touch with love, we're automatically happy. It automatically brings happiness. And that's a good sign. That's a good indication. I test myself. Where did I get this from? I can't remember which philosophy I got that. Oh, this is from The Secret, the video of The Secret. And they say, how do you feel about something? Do you feel right about it? Does it feel good about it? How did that feel in your soul, in your heart? If it felt good, it's the right thing. We're not talking about temporary, superficial, slap somebody back because they slapped you, or eat an ice cream cone even when you're on a diet. We're talking about a deeper feeling, a sense of appropriateness, a sense of rightness, a sense of harmony with what we did, this kind of happiness. We know when we feel that happiness, we know when we feel that contentment, that satisfaction, that we're doing the right thing. Okay. Love is an abstract construction of other feelings like empathy, shame, fear, guilt, confidence, you name it. Yes, love is kind of an abstract thing, isn't it? I mean, happiness is kind of an abstract thing, too. Why? I think love is abstract just because, as I mentioned at the beginning, it's beyond us all. It's something that, like, people say, well, that's God, and you can't really define God. Well, I don't look at God as a personage or as a being, or as this vengeful, hateful, rule-filled, evil entity that so many people worship. I look at my God as love, and that's something you can't really draw a picture of or put your finger on. But it's something you sure know when you see it. You sure know when you feel it. And in that way, yeah, it's kind of abstract. But it becomes so real when we see somebody do a loving thing, do a kind thing, be respectful. Then it becomes so super tangible by its expression. Maybe we can't see the wind, right? We can't see the wind, but we can feel the nice breeze. I've got a fan going right here, right now, and it feels great, but I can't see it. It's completely invisible to me. It's not so tangible, nor is a tornado, but you can sure see the effect. So love is like that. It's kind of hard to specifically put our finger on exactly. Okay, went over time. At 35 minutes now. Thank you so much for listening today. Thank you so much for participating. Look at the notes here. There's some more information. I'm not going to go into all the details every time. I don't want to feel like I'm peddling love or that. But I do really want to share this love thing with you. And I do really hope that you'll take a look at what I'm sharing. And I hope that it's beneficial to you. I hope that it's something that, I hope I'm sharing love in the world effectively. I hope I'm sharing love with you. So that's why I put all these links in the comments. And I hope that they are something that is of value to you, something that you find interesting. That's it for today. Have a wonderful day. This is Matthew from Love Buddy. I love you. Have a great day. And I'll see you again tomorrow, same time, 10 p.m. New York time, 10 a.m. China time, Philippines time. Every day, about a half an hour. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.